Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Holly from hollygrace.ca. If you are no stranger to this channel or my socials, then you know that every May I look forward to May 4th because it is Star Wars Day and I am a huge Star Wars fan. Because you know, May the 4th be with you. And you also know I am a huge sucker for puns. I just love them. So today, in prep for Star Wars Day, I thought we would take a closer look at the brand new Cricut Autopress. And we are going to make ourselves a super cool Star Wars shirt. Before we jump into the project, I do want to remind you to please hit that subscribe button and the little bell if you want to be notified every time I post a video. I have lots of great Cricut content coming up and there are so many wonderful brand new Cricut products to talk about, and I'm going to be sharing all those with you and you're not going to want to miss that. So let's go ahead and let's get started with this project. Okay, so before we dive into the project, I did just want to go over a couple of key features and settings and things about the Autopress so that you guys can really get a feel for just how great this heat press is. So I'm going to start off by saying that Cricut took about 4 years to develop this Autopress. They put a lot of work and a lot of time into it, and it is just an incredible heat press. So I'm going to go over some of the things that make it spectacular. The first thing about this heat press that is amazing is that it auto opens when the time is up. So I know if you guys have clamshell heat presses, I have one myself and I use it a lot, but the annoying thing is you press it down and then you want to run over here and do this with your other project or leave for a minute and start working on something else, and then it's beeping, beep, 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 and you got to go open it yourself. With this machine, like I said, opens up as soon as the time is done, so you don't even have to think about it. That is actually my favorite key feature of this machine. So I'm just gonna open it up here and show you, and how I did that was I just used this little unlock button on the side and it opens the heat press for us. It's very slick, very streamlined. So this is our 15 by 12 ceramic heat plate here, and then we also have this removable mat. And it has a rubber backing on the bottom so that it sticks and stays in place. But what I love about this feature is that you can actually remove this. You can set your shirt up over here, do all your measuring, all your setting up, making sure it's straight, and then you can move it over and place it on the heat plate. You don't have to worry about burning your hands or your fingers working and setting your design up here in the actual heat press itself. So that's another really cool feature. The other awesome feature is that it auto adjusts to the thickness of whatever you put in here. It will auto adjust up to materials that are 2-inch thick. So you can put wood in here, and when you press down the heat press, it will auto adjust the height itself. No more fiddling with knobs. I know on my clamshell I have like a knob here that I have to auto adjust for different shirts, different thicknesses. This machine literally does everything for you. And then here we have our little control pod. This is another neat feature. So I have 4 settings here where I can save different temperature times, different time settings, and they're presets and they're ready to go. So if I know that I do a lot of shirts, I can have one setting for shirts. If I do a lot of wood projects, I can have one setting for that. And then all I have to do is turn on my heat press, press my preset setting, and it will just auto warm up to that time. So we're going to talk more about the Autopress as we're going along throughout the project, but I did just want to go over those few key basic principles that I just love about this heat press.
All right, so we're in Cricut Design Space here, and we're just starting a new project, and I'm going to do something a little bit different with this t-shirt. So I'm going to go down here, I'm on the left-hand side, and I'm going to select Images. So once we're in Images here, we just have to go up to this search bar here, and I'm just going to type in Star Wars. And then all these images come up. Now, unfortunately, if you have Cricut Access, the licensed images are not included in Cricut Access, so you do have to pay for them. But honestly, I bought a few of them and I use them all the time. Like if it's something you like, $2.79 is more than worth it to me if you're going to use it over and over again. So like this little guy here, see how it says purchased? I've actually bought this one. And another neat thing that you can do is if you click these 3 dots in the top right corner on any image and you go to view image sets, all the images in that image set come up. So you can click here and you can see you can buy the whole image set for $24.99. I haven't done that yet. I kind of wish I would have because I use these all the time. I think they're so cute. So we're actually going to go ahead and I'm going to select the little Ewok here. And then I'm going to go down and I want the pork. And then I want this pork, not that pork. I'm picky about my porks. And then I'm going to go ahead and I want the BB-8 as well. So all these ones I've actually bought. And you can see I bought the Chewbacca here and the Darth Vader. But there's so many cute ones. There's 18 image sets in this one. They're so cute. Anyway, so we're going to select those 3. And then, sorry, I moved my screen there. And then you'll see down here we have them selected and they're ready to add to our canvas. But I'm actually going to go back to image here at the top left. I do want to also add in a Star Wars logo. So I was thinking of this one here. But actually, I don't want the outline of the words, I don't think. Actually, I do. Yeah, I'm going to go with this Star Wars here, and you're going to see in a minute why I'm choosing this one when we actually do the project. This one I haven't bought, so I will have to buy that one, but that's okay. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add these to our canvas. And then I have them all here, and I'm just going to zoom out a bit because it's a little big. So click off and then you can move every image you want here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to attach these images onto the Star Wars logo. So I'm actually going to put this little pork, I'm going to grab him and I'm going to bring him over here. I want to shrink him down just a bit. And then I'm going to take my little Ewok and I'm going to put him over here and he needs to be shrunk down. Just so it's kind of like they're hanging out on the logo there. So if we zoom in here, I'll show you. Where did we go? Let me move it back over. I want the image to be just barely touching the logo. So we click off there. It looks like he's kind of hanging on the R here and sitting on the bottom. And then I'm going to take my little BB-8 and I'm going to put him down here, just kind of hanging off the S. Maybe tilt him a little bit so it looks like he kind of rolled right into it. And then I'm going to move him down just a titch. There we go. Okay, so now that I have that done, actually that pork looks disproportionate. I'm going to shrink him down. He looks just a little bit too big than the others. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now that we have that done, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, this is an outline. So if we see here, what it's going to do is it's going to cut out these black outlines. But I actually want to have fill in the middle that's a different color because I'm going to be using an infusible ink pattern sheet. So we do want to have the infusible ink pattern cut out the letters and then I still want the black outline. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually click the logo and I'm going to duplicate it. Okay. So now I have one that's the exact same size. We're not going to mess with the size. We're not going to touch it, but we are going to move that one out of the way. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach all of these. So I'm going to go down here to the bottom right and I'm going to click attach. Now all this is going to cut out in black. And then we're going to have this here. This is going to cut out in a transferred sheet, pattern sheet. So now that we're all set though, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make it. But I didn't realize, actually, you guys, I should have resized my project. I should have resized it before I duplicated it. So actually, I'm just going to undo what I did here. Sorry if this is confusing you guys. Okay, undo. We're going to go back to where we duplicated. Okay, get rid of that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and hold and drag over everything. And we're going to just size it down because 10 inches is a little big for my shirt. I want it to be just under 9, I think. Maybe 9.5. I think that's good. That's a good size. Okay, so there we go. 9.362 by 4, just over a little over 4 inches. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to redo. We're going to duplicate. Okay, and then we're going to reattach this. So select all of that with our images and our text, attach. There we go. And then we have this one and they're still the same size, so that's good. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit make it. And we're going to be doing this on a mat. We're not going to be using smart materials. I am using the Cricut Maker 3, so it does give me the option. We're going to be using a 12 by 12 inch mat. We're going to hit continue. Now we're going to set up our mats here. I do need to move this one to another mat. So how I do that is I click on it. I click the 3 dots, hit move object, and we're going to hit it, send it to a new mat. And we can make it any color that we want. It doesn't matter. And then we're going to go ahead here. And we have, this is going to be cut out in black, and then this is going to be whatever patterned infusible ink that I choose. But we do want to make sure we remember to mirror because we are using infusible ink. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to mirror that. Actually, you know what, you guys, I just thought of something. I'm not going to be using infusible ink. I have some really nice pattern on Star Wars iron-on that I'm going to use. I'm changing this project all up. It's because I'm doing it as I go. I'm designing as I go, and I didn't really think. So you guys are seeing my thought process here. But either way, we still have to mirror it. So I'm going to leave these mirrored, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to, well, actually I have to go to checkout because I have to buy that image. So I'm going to check out, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut this project. All right, so for the outline, I'm going to be using Smart Iron-On. So I have a Cricut Maker 3, so we don't need to use a mat. When we're using Smart Iron-On, we just load the iron-on right into the machine and the Cricut will cut it out. While we're waiting for that, I am going to turn on the Cricut Autopress and get it warmed up here. When you turn it on and you see this lock icon here, it means that the Autopress is locked, so the settings won't auto-populate unless you unlock it. So once you unlock it, then the temperature starts to go up. So I'm going to load my next mat into the machine because it's ready here, and this is all the Cricut pattern iron-on for Star Wars that I have, and actually it matches the image sets that I'm using, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to load that, and that's going to cut, and then when it's done, we're going to weed out the design here. So for the black Smart Iron-On, I'm weeding out all the in-between of the letters and weeding out the little characters. And then for the pattern iron-on, we're going to make sure that we take off and weed out the outline. So we don't want that outline because that's where the black outline is going to go. So we want to make sure we remove that. And as well, in between all the letters, we want to remove the outline and the inside of the letter as well. I'm going to remove the mat from the Autopress, and I'm going to lay my t-shirt down here and line it up. And like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, this is a great feature that you can actually remove the mat from the Autopress and do all this away from the heat. So I'm going to line up the pattern iron-on first, and I'm just going to use a little bit of heat transfer tape just to make sure that it's stuck down fully because the backing sheet on this pattern iron-on is not too sticky. We're going to transfer over our heat press mat into the Autopress, and then we just push it down and the Autopress takes it from here.
The other neat thing about the Autopress is this piece here is not hot at all. So you could touch it, you can touch around the heat press. It does not burn, it's not hot to the touch at all.
Once it's done, like I mentioned at the beginning, it just pops right open for you and you can layer in the next part of the design. So the outline here, I'm just laying it down. We're going to press the Autopress down once again. It's going to count down, do all the work for us, and then once it's done, it beeps and up it goes, and it is really that simple to use this machine. I'm going to pull off the transfer sheet, and then we want to make sure that we flip our t-shirt over and press it once from the back just for about 10 to 15 seconds just to really seal in our design. Thanks so much for watching and tuning into this video. please don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you on the next one. May the 4th be with you.